I don't have any proof yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a government organization, probably military.
What makes you say that?
Well, think about it. Nobody's ever heard about them, and they seem to be blessed with unlimited funds. And do you have any idea where we are?
I can't say that I do. I was...
asleep during the entire flight, right?
How do you know that?
Everyone has been. I'm confident that they drugged us. Now, is that something your average science group would do to its employees?
I guess not. What is their purpose then?
At first I thought we were some kind of guinea pigs, but I've managed to gather some evidence against that theory.
What kind of evidence?
They keep detailed records on all of us, and I don't mean of our presence here. I'm talking about our entire lives on paper. I've managed to collect some of them, and from what I've read, there seems to be a very specific purpose for the assignments they make us perform. They're very careful never to write this purpose down. But it doesn't seem to be a mere experiment. We need to recover as many of those records as possible. Look for yellow dossiers everywhere you go.
Any idea where they might be?
They're not all stored in one place. I've snatched some from their offices, but I wouldn't be surprised if others could be found in the warehouse, or in Hungerton's house. We also need access to their computers. I'm not sure what we will find there, but any information we can get our hands on might be useful. They leave them unattended quite often, but the blasted things are password protected. I can tell when people lie. Always.
You can? Wow, that's truly amazing.
You would think that, wouldn't you? You weren't the one who couldn't hold on to a real friend in his entire life. You weren't the one who didn't dare ask his own parents whether they cared for him or not.
Hey, calm down, Henry. I was merely suggesting that...
People lie all the time, Golden Boy. You have no idea how much. You're fortunate enough to have no idea. Ignorance is bliss. You're wasting my time, boy. Who, Britney Spears? I don't trust that self-righteous bitch for a second. If she knew what I was up to, she'd spill the beans to Hungerton in a second. Robert and I were best friends, but I suppose you already know that. He used to be very cheerful and full of life. That was until he began asking too many questions. The DITR people then started giving him a hard time, and Brown was keeping him in his office for hours every day. We were in it together. They suspected that much, but we were always careful, so their suspicions were never confirmed.
What was Robert's special ability?
He could produce apparitions.
Apparitions? I don't follow you.
Robert could create a full image of a walking, talking person out of thin air. It only worked within a certain distance and for a short period of time. They seemed desperate to eliminate those limitations. The day before he disappeared, I managed to meet him in the bar for a couple of minutes. The place was crowded, not by coincidence. They never wanted him to be alone with another employee if they could help it, so that he couldn't reveal much. But he managed to tell me that he had finally discovered their goal, and he is rolling. They made an appointment for the next day, but he never showed up. They told everyone he had requested the termination of his contract, and that he had left town in a hurry and didn't need any special skills to understand they were lying. I'm confident they got rid of him.
Henry, you're not suggesting murder, are you?
That's exactly what I'm suggesting. He would never leave without contacting me first.
That seems a little too hard to swallow. Perhaps they just sent him home.
I doubt it. He knew way too much by then, and they wouldn't risk exposure. One thing we also never found out was who our mysterious friend was.
You mean that there was another person who was helping you with the investigation?
I'm not sure if he was helping or not. All I know is that sometimes Robert would find pieces of paper that contained information. Nothing too vital, just tips on their office would be unattended, and therefore a good time for us to search it, where a dossier was hidden, that sort of stuff. He thought that it was another employee in search of answers, who was too afraid to come forward. I kept telling him that we couldn't trust that person, but he wouldn't listen. For all I know, it was he or she who betrayed him.
Where did Robert find these pieces of paper?
Inside the birdhouse in his backyard. I spent my entire life keeping to myself and minding my own business.
What did you do for a living before you came to town?
I've done all sorts of things, mostly jobs that didn't require me to talk much to people. I was a night watchman, carpenter, a mime.
A mime? Are you serious?
Yeah, laugh all you want. It was the best job I ever had until the cops kicked me out of Jackson Square. I was a lorry driver when Hungerton found me. I knew he was lying through his teeth about every other thing he said, but I didn't really care. Most employers do anyway. I'll tell you what gives me the creeps about that guy. He knows I can tell he's lying, but he doesn't give a damn. So they haven't managed to make use of her, have they? That is good. I have a feeling that she's one of the most important elements of whatever they're trying to accomplish.